I definitely use these videos to slowly improve my own life. Okay, the one I use all the time is where the gas can is the car, especially where I drive somebody else's car. I use that little arrow that tells me which side the gas tank is on all the time. The other one is the sides of aluminum foil that you push in so the aluminum foil doesn't fall out. I use that one all the time too. So these videos are actually really fun for me to watch. So this one is 10 things you do wrong every single day. And so let's get it, man. I love this shit.
Everyday activities are plagued with bad practices and habits. Some of these things we barely think about, but could vastly help us. From the most efficient way to eat an apple to the reason why those feet on your keyboard may be harming you. Here are 10 things you most likely do wrong.
Okay, come on, here we go. Hook me up.
Amazing!
Help me out.
Number 10. Prevent static buildup. Static buildup is one of those annoying things that
when you
comes from
rub your
doing
feet
the washing.
on the carpet.
It occurs when clothes tumble around and rub against one another in the dryer, and they exchange electrons.
Right.
As some pieces of clothing are positively charged, and others are negatively charged, they become
Like me.
annoyingly clingy to each other, leaving you in potentially sticky situations. Like when you have to pull a sock from the inside of your pant leg and hide it frantically because you're at work or at school. This
I've
problem
actually
is
never
easily
had
resolved,
that.
though,
What the fuck?
and it doesn't have to come at the cost of buying dryer sheets. The solution lies in aluminum foil. Simply scrunch lots of foil into hand-sized balls and throw 2 or 3 of them into the dryer. This time the foil balls will discharge any static buildup as they tumble with your clothes.
Is that safe to put aluminum foil in your dryer? You can do that?
You can continue using them for months, and if they ever fall apart, just crumble some new foil over them. Number 9.
Really?
Hammering nails. Hammering nails is one of those notoriously dangerous tasks that inevitably
That
lead
was a
you to
bug.
flattening
I
your
saw
thumb
it.
into a pancake. But that's mostly because you've been doing it wrong. There's such an easy way to protect your fingers from the head of a heavy moving hammer.
Okay.
All you need is a pencil with a rubber on the end. Grab a utility knife and cut a nail-sized slit in the end. The pencil acts as a holder for the nail while you're hammering. Keep your fingers safely positioned behind the nail. No more pancake fingers.
Don't be a bitch. Put your fingers in danger, ChavezzSlovakia. Don't you use that shit. Don't you
Most
do
of
that.
us would typically cut the apple in half and then cut out the core so that we are left with the nice yellowish flesh. There are a number of reasons this isn't the best way to cut an apple. Firstly, the core is totally edible, so you don't have to bin it in the first place. However,
I'm not
a lot
eating
of
that.
people don't like to eat it.
It's
which is totally
disgusting.
understandable because it's not the nicest part of the
Ah,
apple.
I'm getting that feeling of something being stuck in my teeth right now. Everybody else doing that? Like, you ever like bit into an apple and gotten a piece of the core stuck right in between your teeth and you can like feel it? I don't know, where do you even feel that? Like in your gums? You know what I mean? Oh God, I'm feeling that right now.
The best thing to do in this case is use a spoon instead of a knife when cutting out the core. This maximizes the amount of yellowish flesh retained for consumption, so that you don't have to throw away perfectly edible parts
hate
of
the
the
feeling
apple
of getting
along
stuff
with the
stuck
core.
in my teeth.
Number 7. Using chopsticks. Using
We know how to
chopsticks is
use
one of those
chopsticks,
needlessly
nigga.
difficult tasks. Most of
It
us
is
just
not
opt
a-
straight for ordinary cutlery when finished.
No, fuck you. Chopsticks is not
That's what
hard.
the
What are you
daunting
talking?
task
Who is this guy?
using them. That's why you'd be glad to know there's a better way to hold these handheld pinchers.
What?
All you need is a toothpick and an elastic band.
No.
Snap the toothpick in half, and then place it in between the 2 chopsticks, securing it tightly with an elastic band. This will bind the sticks together and allow it to rebound back after you let go of your finger pushing down the stick. It basically makes eating with chopsticks 10 times easier. Number 6.
Do not do that.
Earphones.
Please.
Earphones can be really annoying devices, particularly when the wires get tangled up and you spend more time unraveling them than you do listening to music on them. That's why when you just throw the earphones in your pocket without much thought, you're costing yourself a lot of hassle in the future. What you should do is fold the cables up neatly, like this. Fold them into a loop, and then use the wire close to the end of the head of each earphone to tie a knot around the looped wires. This will tightly secure the wires in a neat bundle, ready for the next time you want to
Nobody's
listen to
doing
your
that.
hardcore reggae metal or deep filth step.
Nobody's
Number
doing
5,
that.
Stirring and pouring honey. How do you stir or store your honey?
With your
If
tongue.
you've been using a metal storage container or spoon for this job, then you've been doing it all wrong. There's a really good reason for this too. Honey is very acidic with a pH of around 4, meaning it can react with the honey and cause a change in acceptable quality of the honey. This can also cause a discoloration in the honey. That's why honey dippers have been used for generations. They don't chemically harm the honey, meaning they don't impair any of the honey's flavor. Honey dippers are also more porous, and their design is brilliant for preventing the honey dripping if you rotate it on the way to your cup. So, in the future, remember that wooden utensils or stainless steel spoons are preferable when transferring honey from containers.
Things you've been doing wrong. Not owning a honey dipper. I don't use that much honey to
Number
eat that.
4.
And I use the one that's got the squeeze top on it, the bear with the squeeze top. It costs you like $1 more, and you don't need any other utensils.
Opening jars. Now to jars. We've
Do
all
you use
struggled
your
to open them
hands?
at least once. It can be seriously embarrassing, especially when that measly glass container starts to put your strength into question. But as you know, brain beats brawn. You've likely just been doing it wrong. You can easily open a stubborn jar using some household tools.
Okay, let's see
First
it.
up, duct tape. All you have to do is attach the tape to the lid of the jar like this, making a little handle at the end. Just pull on it and voila.
Okay, wow, that was
Next up,
actually pretty
another
easy.
great method, rubber bands. Simply wrap one around the lid and put on a rubber glove. This will give you some
Put on
much
a-
needed grip. Now it will be much easier to open that lid.
A
If
rubber
the
glove.
previous 2 tricks didn't work, then try this. Use a spatula or something similar
Yeah,
to hit the
spank
jar,
it.
either
Spank
on
that
top
bottom.
or at the bottom.
Yeah.
If that doesn't work, then grab a spoon and tap all around the top edge of the lid. That should loosen the seal, allowing the pressure to equalize slightly, making it easier to remove the lid. Finally, if all else fails, grab a hairdryer and heat up the lid with it. Or you could turn the jar upside down so the lid heats up in hot water. Then grab a cloth and twist the lid and it should open. This heat should expand the lid, loosening it up. Number 3,
Spank that
folding
shit.
shirts. If you don't have your mom to do all your washing, ironing, and folding for you, then
So
you
she
probably
hates
just
me.
leave all your clothes bundled up on the ground in some huge pile.
Yeah.
But it doesn't have to be this
Basically.
way. There is an amazingly simple way to fold all your clothes in under 2 seconds. All you have to do is follow these simple steps. First, lay your shirt down on the ground and imagine 3 points on the shirt. Position between the shirt's center line and outside edge. A, B, and C, where A is
I have
halfway
a
down the
shirt
shirt.
right here. Don't ask me
Start
why.
by pinching point A with your left hand and grab B with your right hand. Cross your hand over to pick up point C, and then unfold your arms and fold the shirt back on itself. With just a bit of practice over time, you can perform this fold very quickly. It will save you a lot of time in the future.
Just like
Number
bundled
2,
it up.
Post-it notes. Turns out most of us peel Post-it notes incorrectly, from top to bottom. This bad habit leaves us with curly edges on our Post-it notes. That means they lose some of their stickiness. If you want your Post-it notes to stick, well then just start at one side and pull the note to the opposite side. Voila, a flat-lying note.
Doesn't it sound like you're just gonna tear the fucking Post-it note in half if you do that?
This may be a classic first world problem, but it matters if you care about your sticky note actually being sent out the back of your keyboard or 4. Most of us, like myself included, assume they exist for ergonomics, just to make the keyboard more comfortable to type on. However, this isn't entirely true. It turns out that feet under keyboards have been mandatory since the beginning of the 80s, when the International Organization for Standardization stipulated that it should be possible to adjust the rear height of all keyboards. Back then, people were used to typing at height with machines such as typewriters, so the feet were meant to adjust the keyboard to a higher angle that people were more used to. However, nowadays, they are only important for people who can't type blind. When the keys are extended, people who have to look at the keys and typically use 2 fingers to type have a better
Oh
view
my
of the keys, so
gosh.
it's advantageous for them to
Is
have the
that
feet
what it's
extended.
for?
However, a lot of people nowadays can type
For you
blind,
peckers?
and in this case, extending the feet on keyboards isn't much use. It can actually be harmful. If you're
Yeah,
a
to your
blind typer
wrists.
and don't have to look at the keys when typing, then extending the feet can put your wrist at risk
Yeah.
if they're angled back too far.
Yeah.
For this reason, blind
Fucks your
typers
wrists
should
up.
keep the feet retracted and use a flat keyboard.
That's so funny that it's for people who search and peck on the keyboard. Of course, I would have never known. That's pretty good, dude. All right, then. I'll see you guys in the next one, ChavezzSlovakia. Thank you guys for rolling through. That's a pretty good vid, man. Peace.
Crocs, 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 Crocs. I'm rocking Crocs. I'm rocking Crocs. I'm rocking Crocs. Wearing Crocs, boy. I'm rocking Crocs. I'm rocking Crocs. I'm rocking Crocs. Wearing Crocs, boy. My Crocs are gold. My pops is old. My Crocs got soul. My Crocs are bold. I go to church wearing Crocs. I'm always turned wearing Crocs. My Crocs are great. Your Crocs are lame. With my Crocs, I can cross a lake. Crocs, 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 Crocs.